Hi, welcome to your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me for this hour-long practice. A few things as we get started and settle in. One, as always, if you'd like to follow along with my playlist, I'll put a link for that in the notes. Two, thank you so much to those of you who have dropped me a donation. It's helping me get through this time where the studios are closed. So if you would like to donate to keep these classes going, feel free to check out my information in the notes and you can send me a donation there. Third thing for today, if you have 2 blocks, you can grab those. If you don't have 2 blocks, you can grab 2 rolls of toilet paper or 2 paper towel rolls or 2 big thick books, whatever you have that are about the same size. So you can get that for yourself. Once you have that, you can settle yourself in. You can find a comfortable seat. And take a deep breath here. So as you settle in, I'd just like you to think and clarify for yourself what has brought you to your mat today. And not anything big like why do you practice yoga, what keeps you coming back to yoga, but literally today, why did you turn on this video? What was the decision to roll out your mat, to take this time for your practice? I don't know about you, but for me, I often turn to yoga as kind of an escape. So I want to escape, a stressful situation. I want to escape kind of the craziness of my house and having kids running around. I want to escape from the thoughts running through my head. Whatever it is, I often use my practice to escape. But the thing is, that doesn't always work. So often, our yoga practice, more than being an escape, is actually, or can actually be, a confrontation. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says that yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. So while we may be able to escape the noise or the insanity of our work or our homes, we turn inward and we're confronted with the insanity of our own minds. The constant turning of the mind, the constant running of the mind. And instead of thinking about our practice today as an escape, can we think about it as that journey to the self, that journey home? So you can keep that in mind today as you practice, if that resonates for you. I'm going to go take my seat. And as you find your seat, as you settle in, you can allow the focus to come to the breath. Just watching a few rounds of the inhale and the exhale. Drawing the senses inward, drawing the awareness inward. The hands can connect at a prayer in front of the heart. And we'll begin today with one Om, breathing in together. If if you're following along with the playlist, now would be a good time to turn that on if you'd like. And then we'll send the arms up to the sky, reaching up through the side body, reaching down through the sitting bones. On an exhale, we're taking a twist to the right. Right fingers find the earth behind us, left hand finding the knee. By pressing down into those back fingers, seeing if the crown of the head can rise a little bit taller. And then using this left hand on the knee, spiraling a little bit deeper. Keeping that left hand where it is, right arm sweeps high, breathing in. And we take a big lean over to the side, opening through that right side body. Big breath in here. With an exhale, the top hand crosses over, finds the opposite knee, allowing the spine to round. Keeping the elbows crossed, rolling up to sit, and we'll find an eagle wrap with the arms. A sense of lightness through the fingertips, breathing in. A sense of softness through the shoulders, breathing out. One more big breath in here. And we'll release the arms with an exhale. Take a moment to send the legs out, give them a little shake. And if it's accessible in your body, we'll cross the legs in the opposite direction. And with a breath in, sending the arms to the sky, reaching down through the sitting bones. Exhale, big twist over to the left side. Navel drawing in and up, spine getting lighter. Using the right hand, spiraling a little bit deeper over that shoulder. Keeping the right hand where it is, left arm reaches high, and we take a big lean over to the right side. Rooting through the left sitting bone, reaching through the left fingertips. Exhale, crossing it over, hand to the knee, letting the spine round. Rolling up, finding that eagle wrap of the arms, light through the fingertips. Big breath in. Soft through the shoulders, through the jaw, exhaling. One more big breath in here. With an exhale, releasing the hands. We'll take the hands down behind us, feet to the floor in front of us. Big breath in, and with an exhale, rooting down, shifting the front body to the sky for an altar pose. Breathing in deeply here. Exhale, hips to the earth, and we'll crawl out to hands and knees, taking our time, spreading, rooting into the fingerprints, tucking the toes on a breath in, and it's downward facing dog, sending the hips up and back, exhaling. Taking our time to shift, to stretch. Big breath in here, and with an exhale, settling into a few moments of stillness in this downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. With an inhale, the right foot floats back and up, toes pointing down toward the earth. Exhale, knee to the nose, rounding in toward the center. Pressing into the hands, sweep it back and up, inhaling. Knee to the nose, drawing it in, exhaling. One more time, sweeping back and up, breathing in. Knee to the nose, and there's a soft step forward, letting the foot land between the hands. Lowering the back knee. Releasing the toes, arms reach forward and up, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Feeling a heaviness through the tailbone. A gentle rising through the pubic bone, the low belly. On an exhale, hands to the earth, framing the right foot. Coming up onto the fingertips, letting the spine reach long. On an exhale, hips shift back, lengthening through the right leg and releasing the head toward that right knee. Breathing in, crawling back forward, low lunge. Tucking the back toes, extending the back leg. We swivel the toes to the left, turning to face the side of the mat. Fingertips pressing down, long spine, breathing in. Exhale, allowing the hands to melt, head to get heavy. for our wide straddle forward fold. With an inhale, we come back up onto the fingertips, heels turning in, toes turning out. With an exhale, the left knee bends, sinking the hips toward the back of the mat. Maybe that left heel pops up, maybe the toes start to flex. Left fingertips to the mat, right arm can reach long over the ear, opening through the right side of the body. Exhale, arm past the face, coming through our straddle fold, and we turn all the way to the top of the mat, bending the right knee, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. Plank pose on an inhale, floating out long. Child's pose, softening hips to the heels. Exhaling, just take a big breath here. With an inhale, rising up onto hands and knees. And it's downward facing dog. Exhaling. With a breath in, left foot stretches to the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose, pressing the floor away with the palms. Sending it up, three-leg dog. Breathing in. Knee to the nose, drawing the navel up toward the spine. One more time, reaching up. Inhaling, knee to the nose, soft step forward, low lunge. Lowering the right knee, pointing the back toes, and we sweep the arms forward and up. Low crescent lunge. Shoulders softening away from the ears. One more big inhale. With an exhale, hands come down, framing the left foot. Fingertips pressing down, spine lengthening all the way through the crown of the head. Exhale, shifting back, left leg long. On a breath in, crawling back forward, finding that low lunge. Tucking the back toes, extending the back leg. We swivel to the side of the mat, coming into our straddle forward fold. Right away, up onto the fingertips, heels in, toes out. On an exhale, the right knee bends, sinking the hips toward that heel. Left toes flex, right hand down, left arm stretching long over the ear. Finding that reach through the side body, breathing in. Left arm past the face, turning through Prasarita all the way to the top of the mat, left knee bends. Stepping back, downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, rolling out, breathing in. This time, knees to the mat, toes point, elbows draw into the ribs as we lower. Heart stretching forward, baby cobra pose. And traveling back through all fours, down dog, exhaling. We'll find a big breath in here in downward facing dog. With an exhale, the knees soften and we take a slow and gentle walk, journeying to the top of our mat. When we arrive at the mat, let's take the feet wide. So they're about as wide as our mat. Heels in, toes out, and we're softening the knees into a squat. If the heels pop up off the mat, it's totally fine. Maybe you want to take one of those blocks or props that you have nearby and take it under the sitting bones for a little more support. Rooting the elbows into the inner thighs, allowing the heart to float up into that prayer. One more big breath in here. If you found that block, you can move it out of the way. We'll keep the legs wide as we stretch the legs, paralleling the toes. Inhaling. Exhale, letting the knees bend, and we roll all the way up to stand. Standing with wide legs, arms to the sky, breathing in. Hands find the heart, and releasing the arms by our sides, Tadasana, exhaling. Heels in, toes out, with a breath in, arms to the sky. On an exhale, we're softening down into our squat, Malasana. Big breath in here. On an exhale, hands to the mat, forward fold. Keep the feet wide. Stepping the right foot back into a lunge, inhaling. Left foot steps back, down dog, exhaling. Rolling out to plank pose, breathing in. Straight legs or bent legs, we lower to the earth with an exhale. Heart reaches forward, cobra, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Right leg reaches high, breathing in. The right foot steps outside of the right hand, wide lunge. Left foot outside the left hand, long spine, breath in. Softening the knees, finding that squat, exhaling. Pressing into the feet to rise, inhale. Hands find the heart, exhale. Breathing in, arms to the sky. Exhale, bending the knees, we sink into our squat. Big breath in to lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to the mat, stretching the legs. Left foot slides back to a lunge, breathing in. Down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, exhaling. Rolling out to plank pose, breathing in. Straight or bent legs, we lower to the belly, breath out. Heart reaches forward, cobra, inhaling. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Left foot reaches high, breath in. Stepping outside the left hand, breath out. Right foot forward, lengthening the spine, breathing in. Heels in, toes out, find that squat, breath out. Pressing into the feet to rise, rooting down. Hands find the heart, exhaling. Sweeping it up and away, breath in. Softening the knees, find that squat, breath out. Long spine, breathing in deeply here. Exhale, forward fold, stretching the legs. Right foot stepping back, breathing in. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, big inhale, this time lowering halfway to Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way to the floor. Heart lifts, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Right foot high with a breath in. Foot outside the right hand, breath out. Left foot wide, lengthening the spine, lengthening the legs. Softening into that squat, exhaling. Pressing into the feet to rise, inhaling. Hands find the heart, exhaling. Reaching the arms up and away, breath in. Softening the knees, finding your squat, exhaling. Staying here to create space, breath in. Exhale, folding, paralleling the legs. Left foot steps back, low lunge. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, big breath in. Halfway or all the way down, exhale. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, heart lifts. Downward facing dog, back ribs float. Left leg high, breathing in. Stepping outside the left hand, exhale. Right foot wide, long spine. Heels in, toes out, melting into the squat. Pressing into the feet to rise. Inhale. Hands find a prayer at the heart. Arms reaching high, breathing in. Softening the knees, finding our squat, breathing out. Creating space, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, paralleling the toes. Right foot steps back. Inhale, this time it's plank pose, right away. Halfway or all the way down. Heart reaches forward, breathing in. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhaling, we'll all stay here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Softening the knees, looking forward. We're moving to a squat. You can step or hop your way there, softening the knees. Pressing into the feet, rising, high prayer. We come right back down into our squat, exhaling. Big breath in here. Exhale, forward fold, head gets heavy. Left foot stepping back, breathing in. Plank pose, lowering half or all the way. Drawing the heart through the upper arm bones. Back ribs lift, exhaling. Softening the knees, looking forward, breathing in. We're moving to that Malasana, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat. Pressing down to rise. Inhale. Hands find the heart, and the feet can step or hop together. Releasing the arms, Tadasana. Utkatasana, softening the weight back into the heels. Low belly, drawing up. Sitting bones, reaching back. One more big inhale here. Exhale, hands to the earth. Lengthening the spine, breathing in. Bending the knees, planting the palms. You can step back to plank or hop back, taking yourself through vinyasa. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, right foot floats. Footsteps between the hands, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 pose. Left heel to the mat, arms float to the sky. Feeling that left hip circling forward as the left pinky toe roots deeper into the mat. On an exhale, widening, Warrior 2 pose. Widening through the heart, widening through the hips, maybe widening through the feet, if that helps you find the shape. Pressing into the right foot, lengthening the right leg, inhaling. Exhale, triangle pose. Right hand to the shin or the ankle or the mat. Left arm floating high. On an inhale, left arm reaches long over the ear. Exhale, turning it into a lunge, softening the right knee. Stepping back through plank, through vinyasa. Meeting back, down dog. Exhaling. Left leg to the sky, breathing in. Stepping forward for our Warrior 1, rooting down, arms sweeping high. Again, feeling that tailbone descending. A gentle lift in the front of the low abs. On an exhale, opening up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Pressing into the left foot, extending the left leg. Big breath in. On an exhale, shifting forward for triangle pose. Feeling the belly, the heart, maybe the eyes turning up toward the right fingertips. On a breath in, right arm long over the ear. Shifting it into a low lunge, and we step right back, lowering. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Adding on, right leg rises. Inhale. Stepping forward for our Warrior 1, root it down, float it high. Exhale, Warrior 2. On a breath in, lengthening the right leg, this time arms floating to the sky. Exhale, re-bending, knee over the toes. Breath in, reaching it high, heart lifts, eyes lift. Exhale, re-bending, Warrior 2. One more time, lifting, this time right toes turn parallel. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the earth. Rising up onto the fingertips, long spine, heels in, toes out, left knee bends. Sinking the hips toward the left heel for our Skandasana. Left hand down, right arm reaches long over the ear. Hand past the face, turning through our straddle to the top of the mat. Planting the left palm, right foot steps on top of the left foot, and we send our right arm to the sky. Side plank or supported side plank. Feel free to bring the left knee down. Inhale, right arm long over the ear. Exhale, hand to the mat, take it right through vinyasa. Left leg reaches high, breathing in. Stepping forward for that Warrior 1, seal the heel, float the arms. Exhale, Warrior 2, widening. Breath in, fly that warrior, arms to the sky. Exhale, left knee bends. Again, rising up, maybe look toward the fingers. Exhale, re-bending. One more time, rising up, paralleling the left foot. Hands through the heart, prasarita, forward fold. Rising onto the fingertips, heels in, toes out. Right knee bends, we sink the hips to the right. Right hand down, left arm stretches long over the ear. Arm past the face, coming through that straddle, turning all the way to the top of the mat. Right hand down, we have our side plank, left foot stacks on top. Left arm reaches to the sky. Breath in, left arm reaches over the ear. Exhale, left hand touches down as we move through our vinyasa. And it's a few deep breaths in our downward facing dog. Our home base, bringing ourselves back. On a breath in, the right leg reaches high. Foot between the hands, and we're going to lower that back knee. We're going to be on the back knee for a bit, so it might be nice to fold over the mat, or if you have a blanket or cushion nearby, something soft to take under that left knee. Stretching the arms to the sky for our low crescent lunge. Right hand finds the right thigh for support. Option 1, we stay here. Option 2, left knee bends, and we reach back with the left hand to catch the left foot. If that feels okay, maybe taking the right hand back to catch the left foot as well. Left ribs continuing to spiral forward. Very softly releasing that left foot if you caught it. Hands to the mat, stretching the back leg long. Arms forward and up, high lunge, breathing in. Feel free to find a little bit of softness in that back knee, releasing any holding or crunching in the low back. Shifting the arms back, weight onto the right foot, warrior 3 pose. Outer left hip spiraling downward. One more big breath. Arms to the sky, left knee rises toward the chest. And we move into eagle pose. Left thigh over, maybe left toes hook. Left elbow under the right elbow, softening back. Sitting bones reaching toward the back edge of the mat. Heart moving forward and up in opposition. Pressing into the right foot, we rise up and out of it, releasing the arms and the left leg. Left foot steps back behind the right foot. Hands find opposite elbows, or maybe there's a reverse prayer between the shoulder blades. Big breath in here, creating space. Take all that length, reaching it forward, forward, forward. And we can allow ourselves to fold into our pyramid pose. With an exhale, hands release to the mat. Toes turn to the left, coming to our straddle, maybe walking those feet a little bit wider. Fingertips rooting down, spine long. Left hand to the floor under the face, right arm to the sky for a twist. Making sure that that right outer hip isn't jutting too far out to the right, drawing it back to center, back to home. One more breath in. Right arm slides under the left arm, eagle wrapping. Pressing into the feet, fingertips lead, rising up to stand. Keeping those eagle arms, turning to the top of the mat, warrior 1. Exhale, low lunge, hands to the earth. Walking the fingertips forward, standing split. Left foot floats. Maybe playing with balance, catching the right ankle with one hand or two hands. Both hands to the mat, both knees bend, hooking the left knee in behind the right ankle. And we bring the hips down to the mat. If the right hip doesn't easily come down, feel free to straighten the left leg. Wherever we are, both arms sweeping high. Exhaling, right fingers to the mat. Left elbow comes outside of the right thigh. And we take that big spiral back over the right shoulder. With an exhale, soft release over to the left side. And we come up to sit, placing the feet onto the earth, holding on underneath the thighs, tipping back to balance on the pelvis, setting the feet to hip height, or maybe extending the legs. And if you feel pretty solid here, maybe the arms can stretch out long for Navasana, boat pose. Keep breathing, soft in the face. With a breath in, we're lowering to a half boat pose, hovering just off the mat. With an exhale, we rise back up into our Malasana. Again, breathing in, lowering, hovering. Exhale, we rise back up, finding our boat. One more time, lowering, looking toward the navel. Exhale to rise, reaching it high. One more big inhale here. Exhale, crossing the ankles, hands touch down. Maybe there's a vinyasa, maybe there's a hop through it, maybe it's just a step back to down dog. Keep it simple. And it's a few deep breaths in down dog. Inhale, left foot stretching to the sky. Exhale, knee to the nose, soft step between the hands. Right knee can come down, maybe finding something soft under that right knee. And arms reaching up for our Anjaneyasana. Left hand finds the thigh for support. Feeling free to stay here or bending the right knee, reaching back with the right hand to catch the foot. If that feels pretty stable, maybe sending the left hand back to catch the foot as well. Whichever variation you're finding, softening the face, softening the breath. If you caught the back foot, you can gently release it to the earth. Everyone bringing both hands down around the left foot. Tucking the back toes. Extending the back leg. Arms reach forward and up for our high lunge. Bringing some awareness into the inner thighs. Making sure that they're engaging. One more breath in. Arms winging back, shifting the weight onto the left foot, and we start to fly. Warrior 3 pose. One more big breath here. Arms to the sky, right knee floats up in toward the heart. Eagle pose, right thigh over, right arm under. And we soften in the hips, in the knees, in the ankles. Rising up out of that eagle, gently stepping the right foot back, staggering the feet. Hands come behind the back, however they caught on the first side. Breathing in, hinging at the hips with an exhale, and reaching forward, 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 allowing the upper body to melt. With a breath out, the hands release down around the left foot, and we swivel everything to face the side of the mat, walking the feet a little bit wider, coming up onto the fingertips, lengthening through the spine. Right hand finds the floor under the nose, left arm sweeps to the sky. Keeping the tailbone and the crown of the head, reaching in two opposite directions. On an exhale, left arm, eagle wraps under the right arm. Pressing into the feet, fingertips lead as we rise up to vertical. Spinning to the top of the mat, keeping those eagle arms, warrior one. Exhale, hands release around the left foot, low lunge. Walking the fingertips forward, we take off into our standing split. Again, maybe we play with our balance here. Both hands to the floor, right knee tucks in behind the left ankle. And we sit down on both sitting bones, either keeping the right knee tucked or extending it. Both arms sweeping to the sky. Breathing in. And we twist over the left shoulder. Breathing out. With the next breath out, gently softening over to the right side. Rolling up to sit, letting the feet touch down, hands find the earth. Breathing in, and we rise back up into that altar pose. Exhaling. Taking a big breath in through the nose, and with an exhale, big sigh through the mouth. One more time, breathing in, big exhale. Hips touching down, ankles crossing. We find one last vinyasa, or we step back to that down dog. Big inhale here. And we all soften back into our child's pose. Exhaling. Allowing yourself to find some softness here. In the hips, in the forehead, in the breath, in the mind. And there's a quote from Matsuo Basho, who said, "Every day is a journey, and the journey itself is home." So we bring ourselves back again and again to this practice. this journey because it's home. Yeah, we journey through ourselves to find that home, that self within ourselves. One more big breath here. Hands crawling back to the knees, rolling all the way up to sit. Allowing the hips to melt to the floor, legs circling to the top of the mat. And we roll down onto our backs. Feet stepping onto the earth, ankles right under the knees, palms pressing down. Big breath in here. An exhale, we root into the hands and the feet, sliding the hips up into the sky. We can stay here or take the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers, walking the shoulder blades in and allowing the heart to puff open. One more big breath in. With an exhale, releasing the fingers, walking the shoulders wide, and we roll all the way down onto the back. Keeping the feet where they are, a little sway of the knees from side to side. There are 2 more back bends. Option to repeat bridge pose. Option to take the hands next to the head and stretch the arms into a full wheel. Another option would be to take one of your props under the sacrum and set up for bridge in a more restorative fashion. Your choice. Take a big breath in to prepare. And with an exhale, we float the hips up, bridge, wheel, or supported bridge pose. If you chose to set yourself up on a block, feel free to stay there. Everyone else, take your time to melt down onto the back. If you came all the way down to the floor, again, feet stay grounded, little sway of the knees, side to side. One more back bend, taking a breath in to prepare. Bridge, full wheel, or bridge with the block under the hips. Taking a big inhale here. And one more time, sweeping up, opening the front of the body to the sky. Coming back again and again to that breath. Letting it draw you home. Taking your time, wherever you are, will all come down to the earth. Last time, feet staying grounded, little sway of the knees from side to side. We'll bring the knees through center, walking the feet about as wide as the mat, allowing the knees to knock in toward one another and rest. And taking one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Taking a few deep breaths here just to allow the back to soften into the earth. feet can gently walk back together. Knees pointing up to the sky. And with an exhale, we'll take a soft roll over onto the right side. Pressing into the left hand, rising up to sit. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Maybe there's one final vinyasa that you'd like to move through. Maybe you step it back and find a few deep breaths. With a breath in, right foot stretches back and up. And we're moving into Pigeon Pose, bringing the right shin forward. Feel free to take something soft under the right hip, bringing the earth up to meet your body. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. And with an exhale, taking our time to crawl out over that right leg, melting into our Pigeon Pose. Encouraging the mind in this Pigeon Pose to stay right with the body and right with the breath, to stay with your experience of this shape. Journeying inward. With a breath in, the hands start to crawl back, rising up. And we'll step back to down dog, tucking the left toes, lifting the hips, reaching it back. Take some movement here. Shifting. With a breath in, the left foot stretches high. And we draw that left shin forward, finding our pigeon on the second side. Again, taking padding under the left hip if that feels good in your body. Breathing in, finding space. Breathing out, deepening into that forward fold. 2 more deep breaths here. With an inhale, the hands can crawl back, rising up. Last downward facing dog, right toes tuck, big step back to meet the right foot with the left foot. Take a big breath in here. On an exhale, softening the knees, looking forward, stepping or hopping to sit at the top of your mat. Now once we find our seat, grabbing our 2 blocks or 2 props, whatever we had, bringing them to the top of the mat so we can use them when we need them. Stepping the feet onto the floor, and we'll come all the way forward to the top of our space. Letting the knees draw open, holding onto the ankles, big breath in to lengthen. And then taking that open heart, reaching it forward through the upper arm bones. When there's nowhere left to go with a long spine, we can take a big exhale and release the upper body, Baddha Konasana. Rolling all the way up to sit. We'll take our 2 blocks and come down onto our backs, keeping the knees wide. Taking the blocks under the knees or under the thighs. They can go high or medium or low, but we want to make sure that our legs feel totally supported. So we're not holding them up at all. We're not even feeling a stretch in the inner thighs. Once you find a place that's pretty comfortable here, you can allow the hands to rest open and maybe allowing the eyes to close. If you're comfortable here, feel free to stay right here. If you prefer to move into Shavasana, you can use the hands to bring the legs together and stretching the legs out long. And finding a few more minutes just to release into the earth. The awareness can move back into the breathing. And the awareness can move back into the body. The fingers and the toes can start to find a little bit of movement. If the knees are still bent, using the hands to bring the legs together. And everyone being careful of your blocks as you softly roll onto the right side. Taking your time, we'll come up to sit. Allowing the hands to form prayer at the heart. And we'll seal our practice today with Om. Breathing in. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.